A domain name vlog about a domain name portfolio, how to build a domain name portfolio. Or not how to build one, because other people have got professional ways of building a domain name portfolio. I just build mine on a budget, so I don't buy. My portfolio is I don't pay anything for reg-free. So effectively, with domain name portfolios, it's like you'll hear people saying, "Oh, go down the expired domains and whatever, and you go down buy them from auction. You'll be paying more. You're competing with other people." My domain names I always buy for reg-free because I always buy my ideas. So I have the idea first, and then I have So I have an idea, tech idea, whatever. Could be anything like that. And then I just buy the idea, the domain name of the idea, whether it's GTLD or 2word.com. And see, when you're doing it from, my face is red, but heating's on, so could be it. So I build my domain name portfolios based on just my ideas. I have an idea, spend 5 minutes in a search engine, find a keyword, find sort of two keywords that go together. If it's a GTLD and it's about 3 or 4 quid or 5, 10 quid or 20 quid or something like that, if I've got 20 quid on me, sitting there doing nothing, I'll buy a domain. Some people have a kebab or a takeaway, I'll buy a domain. They go and get the car washed, I'll buy a domain. You can get a domain name for less than 10 quid. Most people have got less than 10 quid they can buy a domain name for. Then all you do, if it's got 2 keywords, if you just got two actually, all you want is just one keyword dot another keyword, and that's it. And if it's not a GTLD or it's not available as a GTLD, try and get the 2word.com. I don't know why my face is like. My face looks beetroot, doesn't it? But so then you get 2word.com, 2keyword.com on the end, but only if it's not a GTLD. Or if it's a GTLD, you'd buy the second one as well, so defensive branding, if you want to call it that. And then you just type those 2 keywords into estibot.com, estibot.com, and it'll give you a valuation. So that would just be a website address you can buy. Say you can buy it now, takes you a couple of minutes to buy. Time you actually create an account or whatever if you haven't got an account already, and even quicker if you have. And you're in your account, you buy a domain, job done. It's in your cart, you look at it in your portfolio, and then you just type it into Estibot and it gives you a value of what they think it's worth. Some registrars take or value a portfolio based on Estibot valuations. Not all do, but some do. And then, you buy something for 10 quid, a domain name for 10 quid, it might be worth 1,000 quid. No one knows, but we're in unprecedented times. In this last 10 years, 11 years, we're in unprecedented times. Because 11 years ago, you could buy Bitcoin for about 10p a pound. 2009. It's now 13. Where ever have you been able to buy it? It's like putting 100 quid in the bank, and it'd be a pound in the bank 11 years ago, and that pound being worth £13,000 a day. And if you bought £100, 1,000 individual pounds 9 years ago, times 1,000 times 100 times 13,000, and that'll tell you there's a lot of Bitcoin millionaires out there, loads. But we're in that decade. We're still in a decade now where you can actually buy a website address for 10 quid and have it valued, and 5 minutes later, the thing that was available for sale to anybody for £10 can be worth 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 10,000, whatever. Where has it ever been possible for that to happen? We're in this time now. Day trading, you can put £100 on the stock market. £1,000 probably better, but don't take my advice. This is not financial advice, please. But but you can put £100 on the stock market. I think it's the minimum you can put on it, and trade from an app on your phone, and just buy and sell stocks within a practice account. And then when you're confident enough to the skills, you can trade the stock market from your phone or laptop or whatever. We're in those. There's a lot of people losing their jobs, but we're in an era where there's a lot of people that don't need to actually go to work because they're either they're YouTubers or they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok or whatever, day traders online, not needing to go to work. But that's by the way. But building a portfolio, you just build a portfolio, one domain name at a time. Buy it for less than 10 quid if you can, 14, 15, 16 quid. You don't want to pay more than reg fee. There's enough out there that you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay more than reg fee. Less than 20 quid. Buy a decent, good quality 2word.com. You can buy a 5-letter brand. You can buy a good 6-letter brandable.com. Brandables, you'd have to list it on a marketplace that are specialised for that. Keyword.coms is just keyword.coms. 2keyword.com site and GTLDs. So my portfolio at the moment, it's probably about. My portfolio at the moment is probably about 60 to 70% GTLDs, all bought for reg fee, and 30% 2keyword.coms, something like that. I don't mind .com. I'll always go for a GTLD first. GTLDs have only been about since about 2014. And I started buying GTLDs right at the perfect time of GTLDs. Perfect time. And the time I actually started buying GTLDs was at a time when .com investors, seasoned .com investors, didn't want to go anywhere near GTLDs because they got too much stock. They got too much .com stock. Which at some point they're going to have to sell or just keep on renewing. Every GTLD sale is a .com sale that would have been, that isn't because it's GTLD. And every .co and .io sale is also another, it would have been a .com sale, but it's not. So there's less .com sales. So there's people holding a lot of stock, .com stock, the website addresses, that would have to shift that stock at some point. And that's where we are. But so that's why I always go GTLDs. GTLDs have been right from 2014, right from pretty much when all these trendy GTLDs started coming out. I've always been a GTLD fan, and I say my portfolio is pretty much about 70%ish GTLD. And a lot of I've got 2 of my website addresses now that I didn't sell, but I let them expire because I just couldn't. I had too many. You got renewals and whatever. It's just certain stuff. And one is being used by a billion dollar company, and the other one will be a $1 billion company, which is also using another of my domain names that I used to own. So one is actually already one's using it as a website. One of my old domains as a website, and the other one's using it as a GTLD redirect. They're both GTLDs, but they've both got a few quid, and they've seen the same value that I saw when I bought it for about 20, 30 quid, 35 quid, something back in the day. That's GTLDs for you. Adios.